In January of 2005, my dad got a proposition from the Dow Chemical Company to come to the United States from Spain to spearhead the automation of their plant in Texas. After 30 months, we would then move to China to complete the sister plant in Beijing. I was halfway done with the Spanish equivalent of kindergarten in school when my parents told me that we were going to the United States on vacation over spring break. In March, we flew into Houston for the first of what would end up being many, many times. We were in the United States for 2 weeks, which began with my parents searching for good schools in the Houston area. We found a good school district, Fort Bend ISD, after which we moved on from Texas. We went first to Chicago, then to New Jersey, and finally to Niagara Falls. Overall, it was not a bad way to spend a couple of weeks abroad. A year later, on May 5th of 2006, we landed back in George Bush Intercontinental Airport, this time for 30 months. While my parents looked for a house to live in, we stayed in an apartment complex called Gables. Here, my sister describes our time at Gables.
Our stay at Gables was interesting, to say the least. We had cockroaches that would run around the floor at the most inconvenient of times, like when you're trying to get out of bed in the morning, or when you're taking a shower. We also had these lovely upstairs neighbors that would grace us with their Bollywood music. You know, they would just sing and dance and whatnot at every single hour of the night. And not only did they blast music, they would also dance very, very loudly. It would seem as the whole house was shaking. We ended up calling them the Dancing Indians, not to be racist or anything, but it's just what we decided to name them.
We struck gold in June of 2006 when we found an amazing home to rent in a quiet place off of Highway 6 in Sugar Land. The house, 4707 Sunny Trail Court, had huge bedrooms, a great backyard, and was in an extremely friendly neighborhood. It was at this point that cabin fever really started to set in for me. I hadn't been doing anything for 2 months by this point, and I was a terrible kid. To prevent me from doing anything horrible, and to take me out of my boredom, my parents signed my sister and I up for Taekwondo lessons just a month after I had turned 6 years old. Joining a martial art brought a respect for authority to me that I simply didn't have before that. The discipline and friendship that has been brought into my life thanks to Taekwondo has really changed me. That academy has been my second home for the past 12 years now, and I got my 3rd degree level 4 black belt in 2015. 30 months came and went, but my parents decided that maybe moving to China was not the best idea for the family. After all, one of the reasons they had decided on coming to the United States was the great education system in this country. At the end of the 30-month period, my dad walked up to his boss and asked him if the company would sponsor us for a green card. The company agreed, and 5 years later in 2012, we got our green cards. The day we got our green cards, we threw a party to commemorate the amazing milestone. In 7 long years, we had been able to come to the United States, make ourselves new lives, and thrive. And that brings me to today. 5 years after receiving my green card, I am finally eligible for United States citizenship. This process has been long and difficult, but this country has afforded me opportunities that no other place in the world could have. I can confidently say that the day I get my citizenship will be the happiest day of my entire life.